I'm going to open this meeting of the Polk County Board of Commissioners for Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. All commissioners are present. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first item up is for comments for items not on the agenda. We have no one in the audience except for great staff. You want to speak? I'm just gonna come up here. Please do come up. All right, hearing no comments, looking for approval of minutes of May 14th.
Also move.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. Now we're going to talk about a franchise application and Austin's going to lead us into it.
Right. Good morning, commissioners. As you're aware, and were made aware last week, the county received an application to franchise a solid waste transfer facility. And because the county wasn't soliciting for a transfer facility franchise, we really need to talk a little bit about the procedures that we want to apply in determining whether or not this is a good opportunity for the county or not. And as part of that, what I would suggest is that the board designate a staff person to conduct some interviews or conversations with our solid waste haulers and with our city managers to determine whether or not this is a good opportunity for the county, what kind of issues and pain points they may face, and then come back and report back to the board on those findings before the board conducts a public hearing and entertains comments from the general public and from anyone interested and makes a decision one way or the other on the franchise agreement. And so, timeline wise on that, I think we're talking probably a couple of months worth of due diligence that I think we should do on this application before we get to that point. And I would recommend that either the board designate our administrative officer or myself to do that work.
Okay, anything else you want to add, Morgan, for process?
No, I think that is the crux of it. I think designating a staff member is the most expedient way to do it.
And can you give us a quick snapshot of what that work looks like pre-board process?
Yeah, what I am suggesting that we do is we contract with a CPA, an independent CPA, to do a rate analysis to determine what kind of impact on rates this facility could have, to help evaluate the pro forma of the business, determine, is it viable? What kind of viability is there? Talk with our haulers to figure out what the need is in our community, what kind of pain points they have, whether or not they support a transfer facility, and talk with our cities about the same issues. So as you know, we have a lot of things kind of going on right now that are complicating waste management in our region. And that has to do with the application to expand Coffin Butte and whether or not Coffin Butte is going to be viable longer term. And then also some issues with Covanta and Marion County. And so although our waste doesn't go to Covanta at all, it could really create a volatile situation where that solid waste has to go somewhere. And we know that there's not a lot of capacity left at Coffin Butte. And so there's sort of a lot going on. And I think having an opportunity to have a conversation with our haulers and with the cities about what their concerns are would really benefit us in evaluating this opportunity.
I think it's something we need to explore. I think, Austin, I think you're probably the right guy to do it. With Mr. Hanson with you same time. I'm not sure how we designate that.
Designate one person individually would be the cleanest.
Of course, the option that we have is so we can just designate the administrative officer and then he can delegate as needed. So that is his authority to do that if he chooses, but
yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate all the due diligence work before we have to make decisions. Wise.
Good.
Rush this decision.
So we have consensus that it will be our administrative officer with backup from community development. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have non-listed items?
None for me, sir.
Election day.
Election day, yes,
Election day,
So make your balance.
big day. Vote.
go vote. All right, we're adjourned.